Haim, you've let me know that you've dipped your dirty mitts into our joint account again.
It's a mitt dip.
Yeah.
It's a classic Blakey mitt dip. Today, something turned up. I was in slightly before you today, sitting around our pod, I guess our space here. Carly, who works on the show, comes in with a bunch of stuff. Yeah. And I went, what's that? And she said, oh, it's X. Yeah. She didn't say X, but she said it's the thing it was that you ordered over summer. And I went, oh, I totally forgot about that. A little, basically, a treat.
This is my point with your spending. You have no idea what you spend it on until it arrives.
Basically, a treat that I organised for you and I because it's to commemorate the fact this is our last year on radio.
Yes.
And this popped up, and Jack, you were around when this came up, weren't you? Did you remember we ordered these?
I didn't, but I'll give you a more accurate depiction of what Haim did when the boxes were wheeled into the space.
Because we can now reveal, Sam, our producer, is going to wheel in the boxes out there. So you can tell there's
3 large boxes.
It's quite a lot of something,
It requires a trolley. It requires a trolley. It's quite heavy by looks.
It looks like 3 subwoofers. It's quite a lot of something.
Yes. Anyway, Jack.
Well, Hamish asked what they were. Somebody told him, and his head dropped, and he shook his head, and in a regretful manner.
No. More. Do you know what? Not regretful that I'd ordered them. Regretful that I'd just forgotten and gone, well, I'm going to have to... I haven't even warned Andy these are on their way. So it's massive. It's like 20 kilos worth of stuff.
Okay, it's finally in the studio now.
Here's the thing, Ando. I can't remember how much I spent, nor can I remember how many I got. But may I present you with, as Jack slices them open, not headphones from Columbia, but...
For the whole wedding party.
Can I excite you with Hamish Andy Commemorative Teaspoons? We might have thousands. I can't remember how many I bought. 1,000 rings a bell.
Australian made, though.
Australian made.
I'm proud of you for doing that.
Thank you very much.
I love them.
They're gorgeous, aren't they?
I
knew you'd love them. I just forgot to warn you they were on their way. That they're collectible teaspoons. I don't think enough people do teaspoon collectibles anymore.
Yes.
They're top quality. What are you going to do? Tap a teaspoon against your car case?
Well, I just worried that they were plastic.
No, they're absolutely.
Yeah, but they're metal.
They may contain traces of plastic.
I think
but also
the ends of them are plastic.
They may contain high traces of metal.
I think the top... Is the top metal or is the top plastic?
Let's not get into what's sterling silver, what's plastic, what's white gold.
They bend very easy.
Ando, they are a composite metal. Precious metal. A possible precious metal teaspoon.
Well, how many have we got?
I think 1,000.
What?
3,000.
3,000?
It was such a long summer. It was such a long summer. It was such a long summer, and I guess I thought they were going to be more of a feature of the show, and then I forgot that I ordered 3,000.
How are we going to get rid of 3,000?
That's the exciting challenge we now have on our hands. What shall we do with 3,000 commemorative teaspoons? Well, think of something. Obviously they go to good callers.
Yeah. Even if you gave one to every caller, though, we'd still have 2,000 at the end of the year.
Oh, we wouldn't even have
give
1,000.
Bad callers. We could give 10 to bad callers. We'd still have thousands left.
We have 20 weeks of this show left in our entire careers.
50 a week, isn't it? Oh, no, it's a lot more than that. 150 a week. We've got what's known in the industry as a teaspoon glut.
We've got to give
no
away
way around
150 of these a week.
Yeah. Well, you remember when I ordered these in February, it felt more like a start of the year thing. I forgot they'd be turning up in almost June. Okay. So a lot of the responsibility... A lot of the blame should lie on the teaspoon manufacturer for them being so long.
Well, let's go to a song. Yes. Well, let's just final thoughts on this after this.
No worries.
This is the Hamish and Andy Show podcast.
Haim, I must admit, it comes as a shock that there are huge pallets, essentially,
a big pallet of
boxes, and you didn't even remember purchasing these. But
I do remember it now.
Purchased 3,000 commemorative teaspoons
for the show. Hamish and Andy branded teaspoons.
Yes.
And there's a little photo on them too. We forgot to mention that on the
photo.
On top
I'm in
of
my sombrero. You're in your Viking helmet from when we were in our band.
A selfie off my phone.
Yep.
That I took before we went on for our first performance on our band tour last year. And when I said to the teaspoon people, "Oh, look, it's not high res," they went, "Oh, don't worry about that." Like they don't mind,
No, they don't mind.
and you can tell.
Quality
Is not an issue. I
quality.
choose quality not to be an issue we talk about. Quantity is an issue.
Yeah, 3,000 of these. Now, I don't think we can just... I mean, these feel special.
They are special.
Well, the fact that you got 3,000 of them means...
flooded the
makes it
market
not-
early.
yeah.
Why don't we put 2,000 away?
I think we should
Burn
smelt-
'em.
No, I think we should smelt. That's what I was thinking. I think we should smelt
Smelt 2,000.
2,000. Just
Wait till you find out how much they cost.
How much per teaspoon?
Well, let's talk about that later. But I mean, just before you get too smelty.
Well, I just think that at this rate, I mean, they're not worth anything.
Yeah.
There's too many of them. That's the big problem we have.
This is exactly like when they probably invented money.
Yeah.
And they were like, it's too much.
Yeah.
Let's chuck a bit in the river. They probably thought it through a bit better than that.
So, okay, well,
So you reckon we destroy 2,000?
I think we have to.
It's not... okay.
They
weren't expensive, as you can tell.
No, they're cheap, but
But
when you
they're more than they are more than $1 a piece.
no way.
So I think we could look at some sort of refund. Maybe there's another company
They
that
could
they could
stick-
put the sticker back
They
over.
could. That's a good idea.
We'll exchange. We'll try and get a refund on 2,000. So we bring it down. Then it's 1,000.
That's a great idea. What if there's a company out there that wants their own commemorative teaspoon?
Yep.
We will print out a sticker and stick it over our
A
faces.
rebadged.
And
we'll
we will
deal
sell
with that
you,
offline.
We will sell you these for
Okay.
what, 80 cents a teaspoon?
Oh, no, they're well more than $1.
What do you mean?
Well, you know what I mean. I'm using English.
You said they're $1 a teaspoon.
I said they're at least $1, just to give it in your head that. Again, I can't remember the exact price, but you're not going to get a teaspoon for $1, mate. In shops, this would be a $20 teaspoon. At a souvenir shop, this would be
Deja vu our next.
this would be a $20 to $40
We'll
teaspoon.
pick this up tomorrow.
I'm happy to negotiate overnight for some sort of refund of some of them, but so we'll get them back down to 1,000 quantity.
Tom Cruise on the show tomorrow.
Mummy and Daddy, you're just going to have a
guess
chat.
what?
We're not fighting.
Guess what Tom's getting?
Oh, yeah. Hey, Tom, on behalf of a grateful nation, here's 2,000 teaspoons.
I was thinking,
You got an entourage, don't you? Sitting around in our office, I was quite surprised to see what can only be described as a pallet with wheels,
Yes.
like a giant, one of those like giant trolleys coming in to the building with a lot of boxes on top of it. And Carly, who's one of the producers on the show, she went, "Oh, hey, your teaspoons are here." And I went, "What? Teaspoons?" She goes, "Yeah. Remember you got me to order commemorative teaspoons?" Then I remembered over summer, yes, I had thought it would be a funny thing to do for our last show on radio to dip into the joint account and get something special to commemorate this last year on radio.
You revealed this news to me yesterday on the show. This is how it went
But I
down.
couldn't remember how many I'd bought or how much they cost. That was the salient bit of information. Can I excite you with Hamish Andy commemorative teaspoons? We might have thousands. I can't remember how many I bought. 1,000 rings a bell.
What?
3,000.
3,000?
It's a lot.
As shocked I am today as I was yesterday because it's too many.
It's too
now, we
many.
should point out we have sent 2,000 back.
Yeah. We were
At
7,000.
a loss, at a huge loss, but they have agreed that they can reuse, the company can reuse the spoons.
Yep.
And essentially have bought them back off us.
Well, the reason
we'll rebadge them and make more money.
The reason we did that was we went, look, 3,000 makes these spoons almost invaluable. Almost worthless. Sorry, not invaluable.
They're worthless.
of no value.
Yeah, they'll be in show bags at the Ekka or the Royal shows.
Who knows where they'll pop
for
up?
15 years at the rate of 3,000.
We were only 7,000 short of doing an Alanus, which is 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife. So we were like, we've got to pull it right back.
Yeah,
we've got 1,000 now. That's very valuable.
and
Marshy took one. I took it. So we got under 1,000 now.
I wanted to send back,
Yes.
2,000.
Well, you wanted to smelt.
900.
You wanted to smelt them, which is very nice of you because it leads me to believe that you think they're all metal, rather than a possible precious metal plastic composite.
Yes, I think it might be that. Well, anyway, we have a lot of them.
We've got
to
1,000. We've got
give
1,000
out.
now.
And people were emailing and tweeting us, etc., last night and hitting us on Facebook saying that they are interested, that their grandparents, etc., are teaspoon enthusiasts.
I have no doubt there's interest out there for these spoons. Now, we could have moved the whole 3,000, but by making it now 1,000, we have something precious.
They should get the first round, we thought. Yeah. So today, on 131060, are you a legitimate teaspoon collector?
Or is someone in your family a legitimate teaspoon collector? Do you care a lot about teaspoons?
Yes.
Are you going to treat ours with respect? Will it be the crown, the jewel in the crown of your teaspoon collection?
It's after this, Hamish and Andy.
This is the Hamish and Andy Show podcast.
Yesterday, Ham, a big package arrived, pallet of boxes that you'd forgotten you'd ordered.
It was a surprise for both of us. It should have only been a surprise for one of us. I forgot that over the very long summer, Ando, I had thought it would be a nice idea to use the joint account to buy a bunch of commemorative teaspoons.
I'm thrilled with this purchase.
We have 1,000. We now have 1,000 commemorative teaspoons.
And we haven't mentioned that Bitcoin.
Oh my God, Jack! Do you know how much Bitcoin is today?
Bitcoin's gone to it's crazy, $3,200.
It's $3,000.
We've got $6,000, $6,500 trapped because we geezer jazz can't remember the password.
So let's look at. I mean, the Bitcoin would easily pay for the spoons. Which was my investment. So. There or thereabouts. Now I just want to table the Bitcoin for a second to go. I made that investment with joint money.
Yes.
I was laughed at. I was ridiculed.
$1,500 worth.
When it went down to $400 a coin, I was saying, let's double down. Let's jump in. Yeah. Our money would have gone up tenfold.
No, it wouldn't, because it's worth nothing because it's trapped in the internet.
Yeah, but if we'd have invested in more, we would have kept the password.
Oh, would we? I don't know about that. Anyway,
the record shows that at $450, I was saying, let's get in on this, guys, and now it's at $3,000.
There's no record.
That is an investing genius. I'm a mini Buffett.
Anyway, the latest purchase has been commemorative teaspoons,
which I can't promise will appreciate as rapidly as Bitcoin. Although you do hear it nowadays. A lot of people on the dark web or doing
moving their money out of,
or just will
Bitcoin.
Say it's this much in Bitcoin, this much in teaspoons. So you can use TS as another form of currency. Some people will charge.
We had 3,000. We sent 2,000 back at a loss. We've got 1,000, so now they feel more special. We thought the first 1,000 of those first 1,000, one's gone to Tom Cruise.
Yep.
He's on the second half of this show. But we wanted to ask you: are you a legitimate
teaspoon fan?
Teaspoon fan?
Do you love teaspoons?
Dave on 131060.
Ahoy, boys.
Ahoy to you.
Ahoy, Dave. You into teaspoons, mate?
I am about to be into teaspoons. I intend to inherit my mum's teaspoon collection. And I think I better get a teaspoon to show that I've got an interest.
Yeah.
So our teaspoon would be like your starter pack.
Nice one.
Otherwise, my sister's going to get it.
Yeah, good call, Dave.
But if you're not into teaspoons, you don't want it.
I don't know. How many teaspoons has she got?
She'd have a couple hundred.
Nice.
They're all on display on the wall.
Is there a prize one?
Yeah, is there a great one?
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you.
Dave, look, Dave, just because
when I was a kid.
Because we've got 1,000, Dave.
You've got one.
You can have one.
You can
have one. We'll send one to you. It's going to cost us more to send it out than they're actually worth. But anyway, I was hoping we'd have more enthusiastic people there. Belinda, on 131060, are you a legitimate spoon collector?
Ahoy, boys.
Ahoy, Belinda. You into spoons?
Yeah, look, I am. I started getting into spoons. It was probably on our first family trip, and it was when we embarked from Adelaide up to Darwin. So every stop along the way, Coober Pedy, Alice Springs, Katherine, Pennant Creek, and all those places, started just building up the collection. And
spoons up the middle.
Spoons up the middle.
Spoons up the middle.
Would be the book.
Great new book by Belinda about her family journey when she was younger.
That's what normally kickstarted a family trip. Can kickstart spoon enthusiasm.
Do you love them still, Belinda?
Oh, look, I do. They're all very different. They've all got the pictures on them of where I've been, so it's almost like a photo album of food.
This is true. Yeah, with a giant inconvenient metal stick hanging off the bottom of the photo. No, Belinda, we love them. You got one, Belinda.
You've got another one to add to the collection.
You've got a Hamish and Andy spoon. Yeah. We love our spoons. We can't speak highly enough of them. Just the craftsmanship alone.
Brody, on 131060, are you a legitimate teaspoon collector?
I am a legitimate teaspoon collector.
How many you got?
I've got over 250.
Oof. Hey, Brods, if it's not a personal question, roughly what age bracket are you in?
I'm in the 30 to 35 box.
Yes.
Fantastic. Because I just wondered what age is spoon collecting
popular,
or does it go across all ages?
What age did you start spooning?
Oh, like 10-ish.
Yep.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you got into spoons. That was the fidget spinner of your day.
It was, yeah, it really was. I was cool.
Spoon spinning.
Yeah.
Now, Brody, do you have like a place to display them? You got a spoon room or a spoon wall?
I don't have a spoon room, but I do have them in glass cabinets on my wall.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Okay. This is,
Yeah.
what's your most valuable spoon?
Oh, I paid $170 for one in Croatia.
We're going to give you ours for $150. No, we'll get it out to you free. I couldn't do that to him.
Wow.
That's amazing. What's on that? What's on the $170 one?
I think it just says split, which is where I was when I bought it. But
Yep.
it's done in like filigree. You know that really fine silver work?
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Kind of? It's really fine. No, you don't. It's
I'm taking a filigree course
a
during a
grandpa made
mid-year
it,
break.
and it was expensive and handcrafted, and I bought it.
Good on you, Brody.
Fantastic, Brody. I've certainly bought more expensive and sillier things on holidays.
Not that silly, Brody.
Well, I mean, $170 spoon. You'd really want to be enjoying the Milo you're eating raw with that.
Joel, are you a teaspoon enthusiast, Joel?
Ahoy, boys.
Ahoy,
Ahoy,
mate.
Jolly.
I'm not. I've had a teaspoon collection size hole in my life and feel this is the one that'll get me started.
Yeah. When you're just sitting there going, I'm not ready to collect dessert spoons yet.
Hey, Joel.
I wonder if there's a smaller spoon.
I just haven't found the right one. I needed the right one to get me started. And
Okay,
I'm gonna
Joel,
take it.
here's the deal. Here's the deal for you, Joel. We're going to send you out the Hamish and Andy collectible teaspoon, right, to kickstart your collection. We're going to check back in with you in our last week. And
if you don't have a dozen spoons.
a dozen. I was going to make it 3, but
No, a dozen.
Okay,
You have to have a dozen new
other
spoons.
teaspoons.
And Joel, I'm going to
If
put
you
another
don't,
condition
you have to
on
send
this.
it back.
I'm going to put another condition on this, Joel.
Done.
You
Done.
can't have a teaspoon. You can't have 2 teaspoons from the one spot. Okay?
Yeah.
So you can't have gone on holidays to France and got an Eiffel Tower teaspoon and a Notre Dame teaspoon. Okay?
I've got
They both count as Paris. Do you know
Beautiful.
what I mean?
Done. Sorted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good luck,
Check
Joel.
back.
We look forward to chatting to you in our last
you're
week.
gonna love it, Joel. It's a wonderful hobby to get into.
The fact that we're going to try and surmount 12 years of radio in our last week, and we're still going to have to
But
check.
before we go, people might remember that on May 23rd, a spoon promise was made.